We're halfway through 2025, so today I'll be sharing with you guys my favorite movies of 2025 so far. Hey ever movie watchers, thank you guys for stopping by my channel. Comment down below, what are your favorite films of 2025? There are several movies that I have missed so far this year. I am a teacher, so I do have the summer off, so I plan on getting caught up on a lot of movies. What is fun about doing a video like this is that at the end of the year, I can go back and see if any of the movies are still on my list at the end of the year and see how the list has changed. It's been a pretty good year so far for 2025. There have been some really amazing films on this list. I do think that a majority of this list is going to be different at the end of the year. Coming in at number 10, How to Train Your Dragon. I really liked the animated film, and this is pretty much a shot-for-shot remake of that animated film, but it still manages to maintain that charm. It still has the chemistry between the characters there. The relationship between Toothless and Hiccup is still very strong. Iconic scene where Hiccup is riding Toothless out in the open for the first time. It's still majestic. The score still amplifies that scene and is beautiful to watch. But the whole cast is great in here. I love that they were able to recreate that magic from that animated film while not doing really anything different to make it feel like it wasn't an adaptation from How to Train Your Dragon. It's faithful to the animated film. I love that animated film. This one was really good, true to what that film did, and it's a good live action remake. Coming in at number 9, Ballerina. The John Wick spinoff was really intense. Ana de Armas is fabulous within this film. She is a character that naturally progresses throughout the movie. She understands that she is going to be smaller and weaker compared to a lot of her opponents, but she utilizes her surrounding and weapons still to fight against many people throughout this film. The action is nonstop. It is intense. It is filmed very well. Quite simple revenge story, more in line with that first John Wick. So it isn't doing anything grand. In turn, it allows for the action and the character to grow throughout the movie and to be really intense. I liked Ballerina, and I would love to see more spin-offs like this, maybe a sequel to Ballerina, because I really like the character that Ana de Armas played, and the action's really fun, and it was so cool to see Keanu Reeves within this film. Coming in at number 8, 28 Years Later. This was a wild film. The more I think about the end of the movie, that it seemed to be gone viral and just really popular on TikTok. I loved it. I am excited for Bone Temple if they can maintain the tone of the end of the movie into its sequel. I'm so excited for Bone Temple, but it felt like Power Rangers at the end of the movie. But there is so many disturbing moments within here, not so much involving zombies, but it's just very morbid, especially with the young boy and his mother, and the skull sequence that just really shocked me. But Aaron Taylor Johnson's really good in this film. It's a zombie movie that has like a deeper story within it, a father and son adventure for like the first act of the movie, and then it's quite emotional towards the end of the film. But there is some really good action in here, intense sequences, more so in that first act of the movie, really setting up the atmosphere of the world, allowing to do some world building throughout. But then it transitions into this mother and son storyline, and that's where a lot of the emotion lies, and some of the deeper themes within the movie surrounding life and death is all like in the third act of the movie. But in the last like 2-3 minutes of the film was crazy. It was so bizarre and out of left field, and the more I think about it, the more I love it, and I just can't wait for Bone Temple. Coming in at number 7, Final Destination Bloodlines. This was a really entertaining Final Destination film. I love the story and the connection from the past and the current timeline. And when you look at what this woman did and saved everybody on top of this this tower, like the Space Needle, it has these consequences that like everybody that was supposed to die had kids and they had grandkids, and then now death is just working its way through. Really interesting story. I love that now in the part of the franchise they still managed to offer up something new. Really unique kills within this film, some bloody sequences, and just has a fun story to play with. Really intense opening sequence that just moved the storyline forward. These are some of the best characters in the Final Destination franchise, some of the coolest kills as well. Really popular movie, and there's already talks about possibly doing a sequel to this movie, which I would love to see. It just felt fun, comedic at times, had some great characters, but also maintained that violence and disturbing moments throughout the film. Like, it understood what the franchise does so well and played around with some of the themes throughout, and I really like that. Coming in at number 6, The Phoenician Scheme. Big fan of Wes Anderson films, and some of his most recent ones haven't been the best for me. And so I was really looking forward to Phoenician Scheme, as I am for every single Wes Anderson film, but because I didn't really like The French Dispatch or Asteroid City. And this is much better than them. I like the movie. It's not the best Wes Anderson film, but there was enough to really intrigue me about this movie. And there's so many different characters, and I feel like they did a great job of introducing a new character like every 15-20 minutes, and very unique characters. Like, have Tom Hanks and Bryan Cranston, Scarlett Johansson, so many people within this film, and it really just centers on a storyline between father and daughter, and a very complicated relationship that is set up in the beginning, but just grows throughout. There's some highs and lows to that relationship, but it is a more endearing film. Everything I love about Wes Anderson, his unique way of capturing everything in frame, and everything just looks so perfect and nothing really feels out of place, is heavy within The Phoenician Scheme. If you understand his directing style and quirks, this is just exactly all of that, just amped up, and I loved it so much. Michael Cera is such a fun character in this film. He provides a lot of the comedy within this film, where there is some more dramatic, more mature moments when it comes to Benicio del Toro, but Michael Cera is able to lighten the tone of the film. I loved it, didn't review it on my channel, and I'm really looking forward to watching it again. Coming in at number 5, Thunderbolts. This is one of the more mature MCU films. I really like the characters and their exploration, understanding their abilities, understanding where they're at in the current state of the world with the MCU, all the characters that have passed away. There's a deeper look at Florence Pugh's character. She gives such a dramatic, emotional performance where you really do care about these characters. All of them have a different style from what we've seen them before in the MCU, from Bucky and the Red Guardian. They seem more mature and broken, and you're able to offer up some deeper emotional scenes throughout the film. You look at the deeper themes at the end with like depression and anxiety, and all the characters in Thunderbolts and what they're going through, how they can all be connected, and the way that it ended. I'm really excited for the MCU moving forward. Coming in at number 4, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Not the best Mission Impossible film, and at times it feels like it's just like highlights of the previous Mission Impossible films into one movie, especially within the first act. But there is some outstanding sequences within this film, some of the best in the Mission Impossible franchise. The underwater submarine sequence, the end with the plane. There is so many cool moments within here, and Tom Cruise once again goes all out with this movie. The characters have a chance to contribute a lot to the movie. The first act is bit rough, I'm gonna admit, and feel like it's just remember this character from this movie, or hey, remember this plot line from this movie, it's now important for this movie. And then you had a lot of highlight reels from the previous films. Like, it was for people who, hey, maybe you've never watched a Mission Impossible film, here are some moments that get you caught up to where we are now. Going to see Mission Impossible, you probably have already seen the previous one, so you know what's going on. But Tom Cruise is great in this film. There are so many action-packed sequences. It's a great way, if they are going to end the Mission Impossible franchise, this is a great way to end it all on a high note with stunning sequences. Coming in number 3, The Life of Chuck. This is another one that I didn't review on my channel. I just went and checked it out, and I was emotional throughout. As much as I absolutely love this movie, I also hated it. I fear death. I'm gonna just throw that out there. And this movie played around with that, especially when it's in different chapters, that it's that first part of the movie is the end. It's coming. And as it was just growing closer and closer to the end, we were wondering who was Chuck, as we saw him just pop up throughout this town. And we just saw pictures of Tom Hiddleston, and it was with Chiwetel Ejiofor. And that discussion around death, and a really heartbreaking scene from Matthew Lillard. I was like, my anxiety was like at all-time high, and I was emotional in that first act of the film. So I loved everything about it, but also I hated like what it was offering up, and the discussion around death. It really affected me. But the second chapter with him dancing, that I love that. That was beautifully filmed and just like a highlight of the movie. But you understood Chuck's life and what he has gone through, and taking risks, and just having a lot of fun, which was the overall like theme of the film. And I like how they worked it backwards from chapter 3, 2, and then 1 as he got younger. It's a unique way to tell a story, but also there's just a lot of emotion behind it. Great performances from Mark Hamill, Tom Hiddleston. It's a solid movie based on a Stephen King work. Direction from Mike Flanagan, who's mostly known for horror movies. This was a very different movie for him, and it worked. Coming in second place, Sinners. I loved this movie. Michael B. Jordan in a dual role. He does enough to separate the characters and have their own personality. The vampire sequences were bloody. Ryan Coogler's direction was great. The middle sequence with the music and its impact, I wasn't sure what to make of it at first. It's probably one of the best scenes for any movie I've seen this year. But Sinners was such an interesting movie because it focused on vampires, but also the impact of music and relationships and family. There's so many different things within this film that Ryan Coogler is offering up that all of it feels very unique. It's bloody throughout, it's action packed, but it's deeper than I expected it to be, more emotional than I expected it to be, more dramatic than I expected it to be. Because I just thought, hey, a vampire film with Michael B. Jordan in a dual role from Ryan Coogler. But it's so much more than that. And I do think that this movie and my number 1 pick will end up being in my top 10. Things could change drastically, but I do think that Sinners and my number 1 pick could be in my top 10 at the end of the year. I would make a bet on both of them being in my top 10. 3 through 10, I don't think will be in my top 10. Maybe Life of Chuck, but Sinners, it was such a good film. I loved it. It was such an entertaining movie, a thought-provoking film. It had a really great ending in its mid-credit sequence. I absolutely loved that. Before I give you my number 1, comment down below with your 10 favorite films of 2025 and what films are you looking forward to for the rest of the year. Coming in first place, F1. This was an intense film from Joseph Kosinski with his directing style, putting the camera on the cars and being like this immersive experience, like you're right there with the cars. Yes, it's a little bit of a generic story with Brad Pitt, the character that was the greatest that never was, coming out of retirement to mentor a younger character. It has all of your typical beats to a sports film that are uplifting, motivational. I really like that about sports movies, and this underdog storyline, it works for F1. But the score from Hans Zimmer, performances from Damson Idris and Brad Pitt, Carrie Condon, and Javier Bardem, it's so good. But the directing is so intense. Like, it's adrenaline pumping. You are on the edge of your seat. I'm enthralled. I'm just so invested in what is going on. And luckily, since it's 2.5 hours, you get a lot of racing sequences throughout. And every single racing sequence is as good as that last one. And it's just so intense and so entertaining to watch. I love this movie. One of the most recent ones on this list. But right now, I do think that F1 has a chance to be in my top 10 at the end of the year because I was just really captivated by this film. Like, it's Top Gun Maverick and its style that Joseph Kosinski did so well in that film really translate nicely over to this movie. If you have not seen F1 yet or any of these movies on this list, I do recommend checking them out. All of them are really good, but F1 so far is my favorite film. And I do think it's the best one I've seen this year. I'm really excited to see if this list changes at all. Comment down below with your favorite films of 2025 and stick around for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.